What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. It's been a little while since I've made a video, and there is kind of a reason for that. It's been the international break, and also as well, I've had some time off work. So I've just been relaxing. 43rd birthday came around. My son started school, so lots going on and lots to be getting on with. But it's always difficult to just kind of churn out content after content for the sake of churning out content. So sometimes it's better just to wait a little while, and then you'll have a few bits and pieces to talk about. So obviously we've got Millwall coming up on Sunday, and it's a difficult one. Technically, on paper, we should win, but we don't win in London, so it's going to be an interesting one, and it's going to be interesting to see the team that's picked, if people back that need to be fit are back, and everything that goes on with that. I'm going to go with, I reckon, a tight 2-1 win. That would be my prediction. Tight 2-1 win. So we'll hopefully have to wait and see how that goes. Obviously, we've got some other bits and pieces to discuss. One of the first things, the deadline day move of Sinistera, and the comments that his agent made within the move to Bournemouth, and yeah, snake in the grass. I mean, the man had, his agent wears trousers that are that tight. I'm pretty sure his sperm count's 0. So it's an interesting one because of everybody that's gone out on loan and jumped ship as quickly as possible, and obviously with the vociferousness of them being so steadfast in their want to actually escape the problem that they created for not being good enough, and thinking that they still deserve the right to be in the Premier League when, you know, they're not man enough to fix the problem that they've solved, in my eyes. I mean, there's no way back for Sinistera. It obviously has come to light as well that both Adams and Sinistera were threatening legal action against Leeds. So, I mean, obviously Adams isn't our problem anymore. He's Bournemouth's player full-time, so that doesn't really matter. But that sours anything good that he did in the season before that. Sinistera, yeah. It's shitting where you eat. I don't like that at all. I don't think it's right. After everything, the fact that he was injured for a lot of last season, and you know, we nursed him back to health, we got him fit again, we got him playing again, and that's how he repays us, which is yeah, great. Cheers, thanks. Fuck off. There's, for me, there's no way back for any of the loanees, actually, because for me, as soon as the opportunity arose, they were out the door quicker than you can say, I don't know, boo to a goose or whatever. You've got Woba that's staying tight-lipped after his move to Mönchengladbach, and I don't know. I mean, Woba's always been a mercenary. He's been the same wherever he's played, and from his first boyhood club that he played for, where he basically went on strike to get the move to where he wanted to get the move to. Aronson, yeah. I mean, to be fair, if he'd have stayed and played, he would have just got bullied, like really badly bullied. And then you've got Harrison. Harrison potentially could come back, potentially. But there's that thing of, did we want them back? But then you look at the Willy Gnonto situation, and we're all a fickle bunch. As soon as you start playing halfway decent, we're all going to start chanting your name again. We're all going to start being your best mate and wanting to see everything that you can do for Leeds United, and just in terms of the way that it goes. I'd like to thank Game Pass there for making noises, which really threw me off there. Sorry. So yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm glad that it's over, and I'm glad that we're moving forwards. I think that the international break probably came at just about the right time. I think the Angus Kinnear interview was interesting, and I know he got a lot of hate for it. He's a mouthpiece, the Tory twat, this thing, even though he's not a Tory. for me, it takes a little bit of balls to sit there and take that. He doesn't have to, but he does it because of the cohesion. I think the square ball and Dan in particular did a really good job of the interview and the questions that they asked. I don't think they gave him an easy ride by any stretch of the imagination. It was interesting what he said about Bielsa in terms of what Bielsa wanted, which was he said, look, I've got this squad to this point, and if you want me to get it to this point, we're basically going to have to do a huge overhaul of the players that we actually have. So we were probably looking at somewhere upwards of 200 million spend to be able to get, or 250 million, sorry, windy pops, 250 million spend to be able to get the players in. And a lot of people took that negatively, thinking that it was Kinnear trying to throw Bielsa under the bus a little bit. And I don't think it was. I think it was the scale of the project. Radrizzani clearly didn't have the funds available to be able to finance such an overhaul of the squad. And for me, I don't know what anybody else thinks, but for me personally, I do think that towards the end of Bielsa's tenure, he was really fed up with Victor Orta. And for me, Victor Orta is I can't stand him. I absolutely can't stand him. That's just my opinion on him. I think that he was in control of far too much. I think that there should have been a lot more involvement from Rads, from Kinnear in terms of what went on. Yes, Kinnear did know what was going on, but I think that quite clearly Orta was ruling everything and pretty much running absolutely everything, which fucking failed miserably, but there you go. It was just, yeah, very interesting. And then after that, there was the meltdown on Twitter where Radrizzani, he shouldn't be allowed to drink and then be given his phone, I don't think, because it just causes problems. Because then he tried to throw Kinnear under the bus on Twitter. It was quite interesting to the point where he's deleted his Twitter account. I'm just so glad that chapter of our story is done and finished with now, because it's almost embarrassing. And then you've got, leading up in the papers at the moment, Cellino, the fuck did Cellino come from, is now saying that he helped finance the purchase of Leeds United and that Radrizzani owes him money. What? I'll just stick to sniffing coke in the toilets and filming people. Just fuck off. That's all I could say. Just you know, and you just think, and you just look at that and go, how did we ever survive as a club with that was going on constantly, particularly with that man, for God's sakes? But yeah, but he's actually done it to who's he done the accusations to? Is it Gazzetta dello Sport? I think he's done the accusations to. So that's quite a prestigious newspaper in Italy. So we're going to have to wait and see if Rads is going to come out and defend himself on that one. And it would appear that Rads really did try and use Leeds United as collateral for the Sampdoria purchase, which I'm so happy that didn't happen. I'm so happy that didn't happen. But anyways, just a short one for me. Millwall game. I think that we go on to it for a win, and I think that we're going to see. I think we're going to see some real progress with the squad moving forwards now, particularly now that the transfer deadline day is done. It's finished. It's over. It's like with. Billy said at the end of the match when he was being interviewed, they're just glad it's over, it's finished. It was so distracting for them. And yet again, deadline day, the day after the match that we play, we end up with, Sinistera fucking off to Bournemouth to go on loan. And that affects everybody. It affects all of the players. And it really does. And it's fucking upsetting and annoying on the basis of that. So, yeah, let's just see sort of where we get to. I could see Archie Gray potentially being rested a little bit, although obviously we've had the international break, so he might not need it now. But it's going to be interesting moving forward. I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for, a little bit of a glut of games and hopefully some finishing. So I hope Rutter and Pior bring their their goal scoring boots with them, because we are going to need them soon. It's going to do it. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to click the like button. If you're new to the channel and you like the kind of relaxed content that I do, then please also hit the subscribe and turn your notifications on. And yeah, that's it. We will see you on the next one. It's good to be back. Take care. Cheers. Bye.